Hear ye, hear ye. Welcome back to another episode of the Odyssey Fantasy Football League review. And in today's video, recapping week 5, looking forward to week 6. As we can see, there's a new king of the league. And that king is your boy. Because we are finally claiming the number 1 seed all to ourselves. Keeping up with the standings, you got Adams moving up to 2. You got Minus moving down to 3. You have Dials stunning the league, moving all the way up to 4. Kawhi moving down to 5. Cam moving up to 6, even in a loss. ATS moving down to 7, Jay moving all the way down to 8, Magnolia to 9, Burrow to 10, Montez to 11, and Big Braden, the one who I was so scared of at the start of the season with that Lamar, Joe Burrow. He had Jaden Daniels for a bit there. His team looked so scary. And now he's bottom in the league. What a shame. Looking at the week 5 matchups, you kick off with a game that really did end up coming down to the Monday Night Football game, where the Buffalo Bills would take a loss, meaning that their defense underperformed, and Dalton Kincaid, have yourself a week, my guy. Christian McCaffrey also going for 30. Rashad White going for 24.5. I told y'all that would pay off. Big win for me. Number 1 seed in the league. You go over here and we see a stunner victory as Montez would knock off Kawhi in what was really close up until the end. What's it called? As you can see, James Cook and Derrick Henry, Jerry Jeudy, they were the death of Kawhi this week. Even with a Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt 28.5 point game. What a week for Montez. Moving on, Magnolia bouncing back from getting absolutely fathered by me by knocking off Jay. We go through here, we see Drake May having quite the rough week fantasy-wise. Rico Dowdle going for almost 40 fucking points. Okay, Kendrick Bourne and Stephon Diggs were great for Jay. Tony Pollard and Ferguson just matched him. Vikings defense truly did end up selling. The Texans defense was absolutely elite, and Jay would have been better off starting Gill and Gabriel. Regardless, Magnolia wins pretty easily too. Then we have the top scorer of the week, Dials, fucking decimating Cam. And I mean, it was really close until Patrick Mahomes decided to go for 30 points on Sunday Night Football, which would lead to him knocking off Cam. Standouts from this week, Jamar Chase and JSN went point for point. Emeka Egbuka and Jalen Waddle went point for point. The Saints defense had 21 for Cam, and he still lost. Moving over to Adams, eking a win over ATS by Jesus, man, by 0.7 points. Adams was able to knock off ATS, and he has Dak Prescott and Matthew Stafford to thank. Puka Nacua had a great week as well. Very well-rounded team, and this would not have been as close if the Seahawks defense did not play like absolute shit against Tampa Bay. And the final matchup, Burrow, the league savior, finally knocked off Minus, the last remaining undefeated team, knocking him down to the 3 seed. As we look here, we see CJ Stroud going for 37. We see Kyron going for 32.5. Facing a 33.3 Jonathan Taylor, a 30 from Justin Fields, 20 from Laporta. Great matchup overall, very close. Burrow just ekes out a victory. And now, it is time to recap, or not recap, but preview week 6 of the Odyssey Fantasy Football League, where we're going to kick it off with my matchup, where I will be going up against Cam the Man. Quarterbacks, you gotta give him the fucking advantage here. Nix and Herbert are just better than DJ and Bryce Young. I'm hoping that Bryce Young will finally break out this week. He plays the goddamn Cowboys defense. Going down to the running backs, we don't know if Chuba Hubbard's playing yet. Christian McCaffrey and Josh Jacobs facing the Bengals. We saw what he did against the Cowboys. So, can we repeat that? Amon-Ra St. Brown, I kid you not, 4 minutes before I started recording this, it comes out that he wasn't practicing today. If he misses this week, I'm going to be pissed. But I still have Olave on the bench waiting if I do need him. I don't want to start Chris Olave, but if I have to, I will. Pickens as well. He's facing Carolina. That should be a pretty solid matchup for him. Dalton Kincaid. He's been really good. I think he's overall tight end 3 in this current format that we play in. Yeah, he's been pretty solid. QJ against Miami. He should have a good week. He had a bit of a down week last week. Drake London, I have a pretty good amount of faith in. The Steelers are facing the fucking Browns. Then we go over to his team. We see Jinty and Chuba, of course. Chuba, again, we don't know if he's going to play. If he doesn't play, RJ Harvey is his RB2. So, like, you can see where there's an issue for Cam here. JSN and Emeka Egbuka is easily probably one of the most scary wide receiver duos currently in this league. We saw what they did last week. What was it, like 28 and 31? That's fucking terrifying, especially when you consider JSN is playing the Jaguars. RJ Harvey is terrible. Jacoby Myers is facing the Titans, though, so we'll see how that goes. I think... Okay, if Chuba Hubbard is out, I'm going to kill Cam this week. If Chuba Hubbard is healthy and Amon-Ra is out, it's going to be much closer because Olave, I still have enough faith in to not be completely terrified. But it would not be ideal whatsoever. I am going to give myself the benefit of the doubt and say I win. It doesn't seem like anything serious with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not overly worried about this. I think he'll be fine. I think maybe even without him I'll win. Moving on, we have Kawhi versus Minus, and I have to root for Kawhi this week. I feel like I want to puke. Also, I just want to throw it out there that the number 5 seed is 2-3. This league is shambles right now. There are quite literally 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 7 2-3 teams in the league. It's such a mid-fest down there. Anyways, so we have Caleb taking on the Commanders. He should play very well. Fields is facing Denver. That's just terrible. But Jordan Love is playing the fucking Bengals. If the Packers don't win by like 30, I'd be pretty surprised. Trevor Lawrence, Seahawks, should be a fun one to watch. Kamara Henry. How does this running back room just get worse and worse every fucking week, man? Kawhi confuses... Oh yeah, Kawhi traded James Cook for Alvin Kamara and Teteroa McMillan. Gibbs and Taylor, fucking terrifying. Jonathan Taylor against the Cardinals, legitimately fucking terrifying. McConkey and Devontae as your wide receivers is extremely questionable. But to be fair, Garrett Wilson is very solid, but against the Broncos defense, I'm pretty skeptical on him this week. Terry McLaurin, when he did play, he wasn't good. He hasn't played the past couple weeks. We'll see what happens. I trust Laporta more than I trust Dallas Goedert. I trust Roma Dunze to probably outscore Tet and Worthy combined. Could be wrong. Could be very, very wrong. Tet is playing the Cowboys. Actually, I hope I'm wrong because I really want Bryce Young to do good this week. Looking at this matchup, it's going to be a real tough one. Especially, I think I'm going to give a slight edge to Minus. I think Jordan Love plus the running backs and Roma Dunze are probably what's putting me over the edge here. Next up, you got Jay taking on Adams. Why is Adams' team projected so low? Is it just because he has Kareem Hunt starting? It is because he has Kareem Hunt starting. Interesting. Okay. So we see Drake May. Kyler Murray is questionable to play this week. If he doesn't play, then Dylan Gabriel will play. It's whatever. Dak and Stafford have actually turned out to be a top quarterback duo in the league, so I can't even judge it. Hall and ETN is solid, but I don't love the matchup for Breece Hall. Judkins, I also don't love the matchup for. Bijan Robinson is fire, though. Diggs and Pearsall as your top two wide receivers are kind of disgusting, especially when you're facing Puka Nacua, but his second is Hollywood Brown. Travis Kelce, I do trust more than Juwan Johnson, especially with Taysom Hill starting to come back. Michael Carter could see a pretty decent week this week. T. Higgins against the Packers, I have absolutely no faith. Keenan Allen, I think, should do pretty freaking well, especially against that Dolphins secondary. Kareem Hunt, I mean, he's kind of just a touchdown vulture, huh? Overall, I am going to give the win to Jay. Actually, no. I lied. I'm giving the win to Adams. I trust his quarterback some more. I trust his running back. No. I trust Jay's running backs more, but everything else I trust Adams more, so I'm giving the win to Adams. Matchup number 4, we got Braden taking on Dials in what might... Does he not have a flex? Oh, he has to put... Okay. So, just pretend... Oh, shit. How did I get here? Okay. Okay, so just pretend that, Bill is in the second flex real quick. So, this projection is a little bit wonky. Darnold and Dart is always going to be a really duo, especially when you look at the other side. You see Mahomes, you see Jaden Daniels. That's fucking terrifying. You see James Cook, Javonte Williams. That's a great RB duo. Jamar and Waddle is a great duo. Jamar a little less this week because he plays the fucking Packers. Tucker Kraft. Mason Taylor being in your flex is kind of disgusting. Same with Amari DiMercado, especially since I'm pretty sure Michael Carter's the number 1. I'd like to See, this is a tough one to call, because quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, yeah, tight end is even. I like quarterback, running back, wide receiver more for the dial side, but the flex is so lopsided that I almost want to say Braden's going to win this week. But I'm going to stick with my gut, and I'm going to go with Dials to get the win this week. Next, you got our first 50-50, probably the only 50-50 of the week. Magnolia taking on ATS. ATS has a fetish for these 50-50 matchups. So as we can see with Magnolia's team, he has Josh Allen and Spencer Rattler playing. Chase Brown against the Packers is legitimately terrifying. We'll see if Rico Dowdle is starting this week. I'm not sure if Chuba is coming back, but after last week, I would hope it's a 50-50 split at this point in time. Brian Thomas Jr. and DJ Moore is probably the most overhyped and sucky wide receiver duo we've seen. It's unfortunate because BTJ was arguably a first-round pick. And DJ Moore was like a, early 4th, 5th? Something like that. So this sucks for him. On the other side, you see Pittman and Samuel, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift. I'm just never going to get over. That RB room pisses me off. But, oh man, this is... Okay, let's look at the flex and tight ends here. Zay Flowers, DK Metcalf, and David Njoku versus Devonta Smith, Tony Pollard, and Ferguson. Ooh. Yeah, I can see why this is a 50-50. I'm going to give the win to Magnolia based on the assumption that I think Chuba Hubbard isn't playing this week. And if Hubbard could carve the Dolphins, I'm pretty sure he's going to carve the Cowboys too. So in this final matchup, we see Montez going up against Burrow in what could very well be a toilet bowl possibility, respectfully. We're going to start with Montez's team. We see Baker Mayfield against the Niners. Could be okay, could also not be okay. We'll see. Tua against the Chargers, again, very hit or miss opportunity here. Devon Achane and Jalen Warren, who it looks like Warren will be playing this week. He looks like he had a full practice today. That's great. Against the Browns, defense is a little shaky. Cortland Sutton, Khalil Shakir, 2 wide receiver ones. Sutton's facing the fucking Jets, so he should do good. I'd be pretty confused if he wasn't. Darren Waller is apparently a top 10 tight end in the league again. Hunter Henry in his flex for some reason, and Rashid Shaheed. Oh, because he benched Trevion. Yeah, no, that actually makes sense. Trevion is supposed to be so good, and, like, just nobody's doing anything with him. And then we see Burrow with a pretty bad issue here. So, Goff is fine, but then so CJ Stroud's on bye, and Tyler Huntley is his backup quarterback. It's not looking great. And if he doesn't get a quarterback, this is the easiest prediction of the week, Montez. Kyron and Scadaboo is a disgusting running back room, and I love that for him. Marv as your number 1 receiver is awesome. Kayshon Boutte as your number 2 is a freaking issue. Chigakonkwo at tight end. Evan Ingram and Pacheco at the flex. I think I just vomited in my mouth. Mike Evans being hurt is killing this guy's team. I kind of feel bad. Oh, and also, his wide receivers are cooked. Because he had Mike Evans, he had Malik Neighbors, he's out for the season. I saw B. Robinson and I got terrified. That was Brian Robinson. I'm like, what the hell? Jaden Reed is on IR. This is just a terrible situation, which kind of also explains why Ingram, Pacheco, and Boutte are all starting, because they would all be on the bench for Reed, Evans, and Neighbors. Pretty terrible situation for Burrow overall, starting some of these people, especially especially if he doesn't have a quarterback. It's looking pretty grim. I have to give the win to Montez, but Burrow, thank you for beating Minus. So that's going to be my review for this week. Let me know y'all's predictions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.